It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my way to work. And after a couple of weeks of pretty nasty weather, pretty cold, freezing, we're already being treated to some very beautiful springtime temperatures here in Barcelona. And it's my first winter where I'm not having to suffer a proper winter, if that makes sense. I wouldn't quite call this t-shirt weather, but you could get away walking around in just a sweater over here, and it's kind of a fun experience not to have to. Well, sure, I miss snowball fights, and it'd be nice to go out ice skating, but it's that sense of guilt you have when you spend a lot of time honing your craft as an artist and having to stay indoors. That guilt when it's sunny outside. Well, when it's this sunny all the time, well, that's something you get over pretty quick. In case you're new to this channel, my name is Jan. I live in Barcelona. I like to draw to my heart's content, fill up my sketchbooks, and lately I've been working on a comic book or two. One is for my own personal project called Phosphor, which is a sci-fi adventure in which a group of hardy explorers are looking for some big loot, awaken a biomechanical monster of some sort, which has been lying dormant. My other comic book is the V100's Anthology 6-pager. All of us are making 6 pages of comic books based on the theme Life in Space, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Hey guys, today's Wednesday. I've got an extra day off, and there's a funny story behind that. I asked for Thursday to Tuesday off so I could go to Sevilla to do a workshop in character design, and so on Tuesday, because naturally the conversation went towards my trip to Sevilla, I casually asked, so how many days off have I still got left? So it turned out I had like a number of days off left that I had yet to take, but the cutoff day is March 1st. If I don't take them before March 1st, then I lose them. That's the rule. But I didn't know how many I had. I figured I'd talk to my managers, and of course I got a very stern, but weren't you notified? I'm like, yeah, I did, but I didn't know how many days I had. So maybe I can take tomorrow off because, not supposed to go till Thursday. And so maybe I can take tomorrow. So at least I'll be able to rescue one of those days rather than lose all 3 of them. So my boss very quickly went, but aren't you off tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I'm off on Thursday. So she looked. Turns out she made a little mistake. She booked me off from Tuesday to Tuesday, a whole week. So I'm still losing those days because the amount of days that they told me was including or excluding the ones I've, math. Not very good at math. So basically it means I have an extra day off. Now, my first thought was, of course, oh, amazing, I can catch up to Ox. But instead, I've been backing up my phone, and I have a lot of problems backing up my phone to photos on the Mac because if I do more than one video, and almost everything I do on my camera these days are videos, then it tends to just not import them. It tends to import like the first one, and then there's an error with the format of the videos, which is from my iPhone. So there shouldn't be a problem. And so that's a bit annoying. So I've been importing them one by one. And because they tend to be like 10-second snippets, 1 minute, 2 minutes, tends to be pretty fast, bar the odd time lapse, which is 15 minutes, but then I've been turning them into time lapses on my phone first, deleting the old ones, and hopefully this way freeing up a bit of spare space on the old flash memory inside here. So other bits of excitement are My arm is getting really tired. Oh, that's better. Oh. Other bits of news. Comic book. I'm really happy with what I have right now. However, page 4, I had a bit of a mishap. So yesterday at work, I did get to draw. So I was nicely warmed up, I thought. Started drawing the bottom right panel in inks, and I just freaking screwed it up. First I screwed up the proportions, and all of a sudden one of the hands is giant and the size of his leg. I'm not kidding. But I managed to weasel my way out of that mistake by drawing the arm as if it belonged to someone off camera. Problem saved. And then the other problem I created for myself is I just totally screwed up the inks, and there's too many blacks, and it's completely, I don't find it very legible what happens. So this is definitely a panel that is going to have to be taken out either with whiteout or digitally and corrected. Like this is gonna, but I'm not giving up. I'm finishing the page when I have time, as soon as I have time, because I've got stuff to organize. And so the worst thing right now, organizing wise, like of course I have to pack. I managed to whittle down my accommodation and flight to Sevilla, but by about 200. Actually, no, by about 200 euros. And is this gonna be super echoey? Probably. And that is after increasing it by about 200. And so, long story short, I should have booked 2 months ago, or whenever it was that I got the idea to do this workshop in Sevilla. But I didn't, because I was helping cover bills and for friends and some other friends, and it would have all gone fine, but they were supposed to pay me back last week, which became this week, which became this morning. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to the bank right now and find out if the agency paid me. But in the meantime, that means I am down to 4 euros. And I do mean 4 euros. Because that's how much is owed to me right now. And so yeah, I got 4 euros. So while people are running around trying to see if they've been paid, which is not their fault, but you know, it just leaves me a month later hanging. I figured I'd come up with a plan B and pull out my credit card again. So I've already used my credit card to cover for the trip and the hotel, which is now 170 more, but I spent a couple of hours digging through the internet and whittled it down from 600 to 370. So tomorrow I have to pay the rest of the workshop in cash, which I don't have. So I've pulled out my credit card again, sent some money to one of my best friends back in London for him to then take that money and put it into my account, because I can't pay, and I've looked everywhere, but I cannot pay directly from my credit card into my account. So I've done this before with him. So we go in this roundabout way. And so he hasn't gotten back to me for a couple of hours now. So that's my plan B. If I can't get a hold of like at least, I'd say that I need at least 250, then I can't go, you know? So right now, I think I'm gonna go out and take that 4 euros and buy some chocolate, because I'm sitting here like, this is insane. Like, this is just insane. Like, I love helping people out, but like for me now, a day before the big trip that I've been looking forward to for so long, to be left hanging without access to money is painful. And I don't, like, I only use my credit card for emergencies. This would be one of them. but I don't, because of that, I don't have the PIN code anymore. So I can't actually use it to withdraw money. And over here, you can't just sign for stuff. Only American tourists can, because that's the security here for credit cards. And I haven't used my British bank account for so long that I actually thought, like, what is actually the code for that card? Because if my friend moves the money over, then how am I going to get the money out? Oh, I'm not like super anxious, but it's really like, you know what I mean? Like it's, this is my day. It's my day off. So here we are, the drawings you've just watched me make in the sketchbook. That little superhero guy was a random sketch I made at work. It's in last week's episode if you want to watch me make that one. So I've got, that was supposed to be Bill Gates minus the glasses, Michael Bloomberg. I was reading an article about tech and billionaires and whatnot. These two are actors from Westworld, a show I'm still enjoying. No spoilers because I haven't finished watching it. Pretty awesome. I really like the lighting they use in some of the scenes and on the characters, and you know, the way they dress them up in the theme park. It's very cool. My cat is going crazy. So while you are watching a glimpse of a panel on page 4 of the Anthology comic book, just a glimpse, I think that's okay. I got word from one of my best friends back in London that money has arrived. He's waiting for it to be cleared to go into his account so he can transfer it to my English account. And then tomorrow morning, first thing, oh, look who's saying hello. First thing, I'll go withdraw some money so I have the cash to pay for the course. And of course, the money to take the bus, take public transport to the El Prat airport. Some other funny developments happening this week. I have an ex-coworker from here, this guy who has his Facebook page and organizes a lot of parties and whatnot, and he needs a banner. So I've been helping out, just quick Photoshop, you know, put the name in, typeface, enlarge it, add some images that shine through the letters, stuff like that. He was okay with it, but he was asking me to kind of do it up. He's like, you know, I'm not a graphic designer, so if you just want to make another version or make it look pretty, you know, that'd be awesome. But I don't really have time because I'm working every day on my comic book. So I told him, like, look, he's like, well, whenever you can, you know, I'll pay you in beer. It's one of those. And then I got a message from another friend of mine who, you know, to be quite, like, he's such a world traveler. Like, this guy has been to 100 countries. I actually don't know where he is. But I'm gonna have to put a link to his YouTube channel because he is a fantastic storyteller. Like, and he has some fantastic stories to tell. But he asked me if I could help him out make an animation of him so he could make some really cool videos. And that's a really cool thing, but animations being as time consuming as they are, and not having done any animation for a long time, this was one job where I had to say no. Like I'd really love to help them out, but I'm like, that is going to take me completely away from my comic book. And then late last night, I got a message from a friend in Colombia who's been doing very well, and she's been living there for 2 years already. I thought she actually returned to England, but she's been there for 2 years, and she's going to, like, tourism is really taking off in Colombia now, especially with the peace accords in place. And so she's thinking of setting up a travel vlog agency to talk to all these new hotels that have set up shop, and to basically set up a new kind of business. And so they need a logo, this kind of thing. And so she thought of me. And so I had some ideas. I like straight up, like just looking at the logo they had, I was like, whoa. But the interesting thing is that people are coming up to me, like starting to think of me, like a lot of them at the same time, as the go-to person for creative endeavors and input, which is cool. It's just not comic book related. I've been watching a lot of interviews with the Image people because their 25th anniversary is coming up, which is just crazy. 25 years of Image comics. It's just crazy. But yeah, there was one thing in one interview on the Off-Panel podcast which I thoroughly recommend. That's a really awesome podcast. And it was Todd McFarlane, and he just had this great saying, which was, once you decide what you want to do in life, everything else just becomes white noise. And I was just like, what is it I want to do? Is it art? Is it comics? So I actually thought about that for a day, because I wanted to be comics. But then what if I were to do comics, but someone would offer me something else? That is also very cool. That's where I'd be like, something to think about. But it definitely informed me saying no this week to an art job. And there was money involved. And I certainly could use some right now. But hey, I'll keep you posted on that one. In the meantime, you guys have a great week. Thanks for hanging out with me. What can I say? I'm actually in Seville already. This is a filler episode. Yeah, today's actually Wednesday. But I uploaded it on Wednesday so that you would not miss out on a SketchaLona episode on Sunday. So have a great one. Keep me posted. Let me know what you think. When was the last time you did an art course? I'm curious. Hit me up in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next week.